Ward and Voss for the championship, $40,000 at stake. We've already had a little gamesmanship between these two. Brian-Voss had the choice who goes first. He is allowing Ricky Ward to do it. And the proprietor here, of course, is Mike Moniak, our good friend, our director of bowling operations for Coast Properties. Of course, the Orleans, one of the many properties here, the Barbary Coast, the Gold Coast, and the Sun Coast. All here in Vegas, and Ricky Ward's going to go first. Little strategy there by Brian-Voss, huh?
Well, Brian's going to play the deep inside line. If he were to start the match, he would have to finish on the right lane, and when he would be up against the ball return.
Now Ricky Ward picking up where he left off in the last game, leading 2 in the 10th. He got it. And now here is Brian-Voss.
Getting back to that shot clock violation by Ricky Ward, the first offense is a $100 fine. The second offense is a $500 fine. You have 25 seconds from the time the ball leaves your hand, hits the pins, and comes back through the ball return to pick it up and throw it.
Only his second game under 200 this week. That's semifinal with Jason Couch. He is smooth. You know, we mentioned at the top of the show, when you said it about Brian-Voss, Brian is just not sure how many more opportunities he's going to get. He's only 43 years old, and we can see what he's done in his career, over $1.8 million, 20 PBA titles. He's 18th in the world. But Brian-Voss knows that this may be one of the few left.
Well, I think what's tough for Brian is that when you're at the top of the sport like he was for so long, and you don't compete quite as well as you used to, it begins to wear on you mentally.
No.
That's the last thing.
No.
Exactly. No. That's the last thing you want to have happen, especially in a title match. You don't want to leave that pocket 7-10.
He was doing everything he can to get that to fall down. Back in 1999, Brian had a string of 12 consecutive years where he won a title. Snap. Broken hand that year. Was closing in on Earl Anthony's record of 14 straight years. So strike spare for Brian-Voss here in the opening frames. Ricky Ward, the 1991 PBA Rookie of the Year. 99 was his best year prior to this season. Oh. Well, interesting. Both bowlers wearing the same shirts. Both bowlers using the same ball.
And Ricky not fortunate enough to trip that 6 or that 8 pin out, leaving the 6-8.
Speed has been consistent, though.
Got to get the ball to the right of the 6 pin, slide it over into the 8.
Nope. I would like to show you our upcoming events. Of course, next week we'll be at the Don Carter's All-Star Lanes West in Dallas, Texas. Of course, our telecast gets underway at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Then we'll head to North Carolina for the PBA Columbia 300 Tar Heel Open. And, of course, the regional events coming up. The Astro Bowl in San Antonio, Texas, February 1st through 3rd. May have to stop by there.
Your backyard. By the way, the great Dick Weber won a senior regional event last week.
To the titles.
Ooh. Nice shot there, coming off of that unfortunate break in the second frame.
You know, you talk about the talent of these two players, but let's talk about the mental toughness, and you can see it in Ricky Ward here on this shot.
19.6 miles an hour, 22nd board, the deep inside line. That time the 6 pin goes, or the 4 pin goes to the wall and cuts the 7 out.
He's been about 19.6 the whole night.
Very, very consistent speed. That's what it takes out on the PBA Tour.
Brian answering the challenge.
It's one thing to be accurate, but it's another thing to have real great command of ball speed. Brian-Voss does it as good as anybody out on tour, and obviously Ricky Ward, much in the same boat, as do all our players that make the telecast. Speed control, accuracy, repeating shots. That's what it takes to win out here.
Strike percentage this week for Brian-Voss, the best of all the finalists, 65%.
After 3 frames, both players have hit the pocket every shot.
Come on! Yeah!
2 in a row for Brian-Voss. He goes up by 22 pins.
Easy.
Well, he hesitated.
Brian-Voss's ball speed has been absolutely perfect on each lane. Both shots on the right lane, exactly the same ball speed. Both shots on the left lane, the same. A little faster on the right lane than he is on the left. 1 mile an hour faster.
Ricky, you left the second open.
Okay.
When you're sitting on the bench like Brian is, there's nothing better that you could ever lay your eyes on than your opponent not striking.
Mm-hmm. Brian continuing to talk to himself.
Some players like their opponents to keep the heat on them, Ron, strike and have this slugfest going back and forth. Well, that was fine when I was a younger guy, but when I got towards the latter part of my career, I really enjoyed it when they didn't bowl good. and I didn't have to shoot 240 or 50 to win.
Well, funny you should say that, because Brian-Voss was telling me that exact same thing tonight. He said, I like it when I'm playing somebody I know who's good, who's got a great attitude, who's going to go out there mano-a-mano, just one-on-one. He said that makes him bowl better. It seems to push him a little more. I'd like it the easy way with you, though.
I like the easy way.
Right now, Ricky Ward trailing by 22 pins. That cuts the lead.
He's locked in on the left lane.
He's just got to get the right lane going.
Well, he went high that first shot, left to 6-8. Next shot comes back and goes light.
Brian working on 2 in a row.
Same thing.
You hear Brian just said the same thing.
You can see how long it's been since he has won. For Ricky Ward, it's only been 2 weeks.
That was a little too much knuckle.
Okay, what did he mean by that?
Spin.
Oh, here's, of course, the all-time Tour Championships. You can see Brian-Voss with 20. My broadcast partner's got 12.
You hear Brian, what he said was he knuckled that shot. His hand rotated too much around the side, creating more spin than roll. Ball didn't grab the lane enough to dive into the pocket and carry the 10 out. And I think the Achilles heel for Brian-Voss the last couple of years, Ron, has been his inability to make big shots under pressure. Be interesting to see what happens towards the latter part of this match.
Well, we're halfway home now, and the pressure is building on Brian-Voss.
Spin here, you gotta catch this. Gotta catch this. Got a hook, a little help, a little bit of help.
He got a little bit of help, and his lead is now up to 31 pins for Brian-Voss in the championship match. Voss up by 21 pins. In the final, the winner, $40,000 as we take a look at the score, and you can see this, the frame by frame, the speed and the arrows for Ricky Ward, very consistent.
Look how great he is at his ball speed. Right around the same target every shot.
But first, third, and fifth frame, he has struck. But now during the commercial break, he was laying on the floor checking the oil pattern.
What happens when your ball goes down the lane on synthetic lanes is it makes streaks in the lane. And Ricky is looking at those streaks, trying to determine the best place for him to play on the lane.
Trails by 21, working on the strike, and cut it to 11 with a strike.
And this is the lane that Ricky really needs to get zeroed in on. What a great shot. What a great shot there, Ron.
Pressure.
Goes 6-8, comes back.